Ah, shame. Welcome back, my friends. If you thought your family had drama, wait until you hear what's brewing in Suidooster this November. From secret deals gone wrong to family feuds that cut deeper than a knife, this month is going to have you on the edge of your seat. So, make yourself a cup of rooibos, get comfortable, and let's dive into the stories. And hey, if you love these recaps, don't be a stranger. Consider joining our channel membership or sending a super thanks donation. Every bit helps us keep bringing you the drama. Right, let's get into it. On Monday, the 3rd of November, Wade's grand new plan for his bar was immediately shot down by Zoe, who saw right through the risky venture. Meanwhile, a ghost from the past walked in when Miriam shared a shocking story with Maimona, one that threatened to unravel decades of sisterly peace. And while the family dramas unfolded, young Rian took a nasty fall from his bike, leaving everyone wondering if his big dreams had just been dashed on the tarmac. The next day, Nazim tried to play the hero by helping Wade out of his financial mess, but he was swiftly put in his place, a reminder that not everyone wants his kind of help. Rian was fuming, ready to kick Gary and Lily off his cycling team after the accident. But the real explosion happened at the Samsodian house, where Maimona and Mariam's old wounds were ripped open, leading to a sisterly fallout that shook the whole family. By Wednesday, Nazim was turning up the heat on Wade, pressuring him into a corner with no easy way out. Rian's frustration with his team boiled over, while Maimona decided enough was enough and confronted Mariam with some hard, uncomfortable truths about their shared history, leaving her sister reeling and the family tense. Come Thursday, Zoe was on the warpath after discovering what Wade had been up to the night before, his secret dealings threatening to destroy the trust between them. Mariam, however, stood her ground, adamant that she was done being a victim. But the day's real tragedy unfolded during a risky training session, which went horribly wrong for Rian and his team, leaving more than just bikes broken. As the week closed, Wade was stubbornly insisting on a meeting with the shady Selwyn, blind to the danger. Mariam seemed to have truly turned a new page, showing a strength no one knew she had, but the aftermath of the bicycle accident proved severe, revealing that not everyone had walked away unscathed, and the emotional scars ran deep for those involved. The new week saw Maimona's heart swell with pride as Mariam thrived at the travel agency, a welcome bright spot. But Wade was starting to feel the sharp consequences of his deal with Selwyn. Rian was desperately searching for answers about the accident, while Gary, overwhelmed by guilt and pressure, finally reached his breaking point. On Tuesday, Wade tried one more time to make Zoe understand his desperate choices, but her patience had worn thin. Maimona, ever the peacemaker, found a new gentle way to reach out to Mariam. Meanwhile, Rian was drowning in a sea of guilt, convinced the accident was all his fault. By midweek, Gary was openly blaming Rian for what happened to Lily, turning friend against friend. Mariam was fuming when she found out Rafiq had paid his deposit directly to the agency and not to her. And Wade, well, he went completely off the rails, forcing a rare moment where Nazim had to step in as the voice of reason. Rian was left to wrestle with his guilt alone after Gary moved out, the silence in the house deafening. Angie had a brush with fame but couldn't get close to the celebrity she admired. Wade tried desperately to change the course of his life, but the question on everyone's lips was whether it was already too late for a fresh start. The week ended with a performance from Early B at the Brasserie, a moment of light relief. But the piece was short-lived as Rafiq and Mariam butted heads after she overplayed her hand in a business deal. Lily's memory continued to haunt Rian, and Nazim was left to nervously wonder if the dangerous Selwyn would soon come seeking his own form of revenge. The new week began with Bridget and the entire Jacobs family anxiously waiting for news about Zoe, whose safety was suddenly in question. While that tension hung thick in the air, Maimouna and Mariam found themselves in another massive fight, proving that old wounds take more than a few days to heal. And poor Rian, shouldering all the blame, finally reached his breaking point, his spirit shattered by the weight of recent events. On Tuesday, Rian's struggle with guilt intensified, and he felt the crushing weight of his friend's absence in his time of greatest need. Mariam made a discovery that stung. She found out Rafiq had been tasked with finding her a flat, making her feel like an outsider. Meanwhile, Zoe, tired of the chaos, made a firm decision that was set to dramatically alter her relationship with Wade forever. Wade was utterly shattered when Zoe laid down her final demand, leaving their future hanging by a thread. Over at the commune, Frankie and Justin were at each other's throats, arguing fiercely about how to handle the fractured friendship between Gary and Rian. In a rare moment of peace, Mariam and Maimouna finally found solid ground, their bond seeming stronger after weathering the storm. Rian tried to make amends with Frankie, hoping to mend one of the many bridges that had been burned. Maimouna shared a heartfelt sisterly conversation with Mariam, solidifying their newfound understanding. But as peace settled in one home, Bridget was just getting started, putting plans in motion that she intended to be the final nail in Wade's professional coffin. The week ended with the excited Samsodians setting out on their long-awaited pilgrimage, a joyful escape from Rita Bosch's drama. But back home, Frankie was hiding something from Justin, a secret that could strain their relationship, and in a clash that surprised no one, Angie and Zoe were right back in each other's hair, their rivalry as fierce as ever. Gary confronted Justin, desperate to know why Frankie was suddenly avoiding him, sensing a shift in their tight-knit group. Never one to miss an opportunity, Nazim was back to his old tricks, scheming in the background, and in a heartbreaking scene, Rian had a complete meltdown, with only Frankie there to offer him any comfort. Maimouna was faced with a difficult decision about her sister's future, weighing family duty against what was truly best. Gary, acting out, caused major problems between Justin and Frankie, driving a wedge into their relationship. And Nazim, ever the opportunist, found himself involved in crime again, leaving everyone to wonder if he would cross the line and abuse JPD's resources for his own gain. Gossip was swirling about Rian all over Rita Bosch, making his life even more difficult. Over at the pharmacy, a prankster's googly eyes jokes pushed a usually patient Aiden to the brink of fury, and Nazim found himself at a dangerous crossroads, forced to carefully consider all his options as the walls began to close in. In a shocking move, Bridget made Nazim a business offer that deeply upset Zoe, creating a new family rift. Aiden's patience paid off as he finally caught the googly eyes prankster red-handed, and the long-simmering feud between Rian and Gary reached its breaking point, culminating in a confrontation that had been building for weeks. The week concluded with Frankie being confronted by her own unexpected feelings for someone else, throwing her entire world off balance. Nazim, however, was buzzing with excitement over his new project at the Royal. And in a lighter moment, Aiden was delighted when the infamous googly eyes prankster and her mother showed up at the pharmacy, leading to an unexpected and charming resolution. And there you have it. A month of high-stakes drama, shattered relationships, and maybe, just maybe, a few new beginnings. From the depths of guilt to the heights of new schemes, Rita Bosch never disappoints. A massive thank you for watching right until the end. If you enjoyed this recap, please help the channel grow by subscribing, sharing this video with your friends, and letting me know your thoughts in the comments. Your support through memberships and super thanks donation is what keeps this going. Until next time, stay tuned for more drama.